so many things happening around the world, especially in the last 2 years. So, how is it that we can practice balance in this divided climate? There's division in on so many levels. How can practice of balance be something that will be helpful to us in our own self-care journey and for the welfare of people around us? When we look at balance, there is one kind of balance where we need to traverse or navigate both extremes, and that is action and rest, outer action, inner action. And those are something that we have to look at both sides as like the seesaw. We go up once and then we come down, and we need to take turns between the two polarities, between the yin and the yang, as we looked at in the energy self care as well. So that happens, and we need to honor both sides of the polarities. But there's another set of polarities, and that's what we want to look at today. So, for example, starting a project or ending a project, external action, internal action, action, and rest. We understand this, and this is part of self care. The other end of understanding the balance is about knowing that there are polarities on two sides, and I don't want to get involved in either of those end points or polarities. I want to be in the center. And self care means identifying which polarity are we talking about. Are we talking about a polarity where I need to understand both ends, or do I need to find my balance right in the center? So let's look at what that means for us in this current COVID climate. I think if we look at the last 2 years, there are so many polarities that have come up. We can call them polarities, we can call them controversies, we can call them conspiracy theories, we can call them anything. But the truth is that all of these have divided us as human beings, as global citizens, local citizens, into different camps. Wear the mask, don't wear the mask. Vaccinate, don't vaccinate. Go out, stay at home. Travel, don't travel. Lockdown, no lockdown. And the list goes on, right? So this is like the frenzy is being whipped up by different media. And this is where this particular self-care topic of balance between opposites is very, very crucial for us to understand. Firstly, being human, it is very easy for us to get two sides, become emotional, understand this perspective and say, why is it that others are not doing this? I can see it. Why is it that others are not doing this or seeing this? This is crucial. This is for our health. This is for our survival. And there are many reasons. And the other side is saying, looking at it, and they will have their own arguments as well. So understanding that when I get into that frenzy, I'm not helping anybody. I'm not helping myself. I'm not helping anybody around me. We all want peace in the world. That peace in the world does not come magically. It comes about because individuals have got individual peace. And there's a story which I learned from Satya Sai Baba, and I like to talk about it in different contexts. And this is the story here. Let me share that here. There was in one particular kingdom a king that was facing drought for many consecutive years. The kingdom was going through famine, and he consulted astrologers, and many of them came from far and wide. And then they suggested that the one way that this situation can be averted or transformed is for the king, representing his entire kingdom, for the king to have a royal bath in milk. And they found the most auspicious date. They found the most auspicious space or area where the lake should be. And then they dug a huge hole there in that area. And then people went around announcing to all the nearby population that the king is going to have a royal bath on this day, the next day, tomorrow. And overnight, because milk will not last, overnight at a particular time, each household was asked to bring a bowl of milk and pour it into that hole. And the idea was that if everybody pours the bowl of milk into that hole in the morning, the entire place will be filled with milk, and the king can have this royal bath of milk. The king started from his palace early in the morning when it was still dark, and with huge fanfare, ceremoniously, he was brought into the lake, only to find, can you guess? Only to find that it was not a lake of milk, but a lake of water. Every household thought to themselves that everybody else is pouring milk. If I pour water, it will not be visible, it will not be noticed. And that's what happens if everybody else is responsible for world peace, or magically something happens. Somebody, snaps a finger and the world peace just descends. That is not possible. Each one of us has to contribute to that world peace through our own individual peace. So if there is a situation of frenzy, if there is a situation of anxiety, worry, fear, I can contribute to that fear or anxiety or worry, or I can be the person who is able to contribute to the peace. What that means is I am responsible for my peace. I am responsible for my own inner balance. So, knowing about balance means that yes, both sides are there, both sides are emotional, both sides are going into a frenzy, no matter what that is. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the argument is. If I need to contribute to the peace around me, I have to maintain my balance. So it is not about lack of awareness. It's not about ignorance. It's not about lack of education. It's about lack of peace, lack of balance. So the challenge then is to know all these things are happening, understand these rules, understand the lockdown, understand the vaccine, side effects, understand everything else, and then to say, okay, I'm aware. Now, where is my balance? And then try to find my balance within me. And that's the most important part. If I'm able to find my balance, then within my circle, small circle, I'm able to contribute a ripple effect of balance. And slowly, if enough of us are doing that, that ripple effect keeps radiating outward until that balance is brought to the world. It is not about herd immunity, it is about individual immunity against the frenzy. It's about individual peace that translates into herd peace. So I want to hijack this term herd immunity and say it's not about herd immunity, it's about herd peace. It's about communal peace, communal harmony, which will only come through individual harmony and individual peace. So, when it comes to balance between opposites, the best gauge for me to see if I'm able to practice this form of self care is to see, am I affected? Am I affected? In that case, I'm either at one end or the other end. So, can I bring myself to the center. Even a few steps away from that extreme viewpoint is going to allow me to start becoming more balanced. So, moving away from extreme viewpoints may help me. As I start practicing this more and more, I will be able to be aware of the extreme endpoints and still not lose my balance. And that's where the detachment will come in. I'll be aware of what is happening and then still maintain my balance. If that awareness is not giving me balance, then I need to sit with that awareness for enough number of times or move away a little bit and try to see from the other perspective if that is possible until I'm able to find my balance. The other clarification I wanted to say is that staying in the center does not mean not taking a stand. There's a lot of unrest right now is because people want to take a stand. And if people want to take a stand, the idea here is, how am I taking the stand? The process with which I take a stand is, in my opinion, of even greater importance than the stand I take. If in the process of taking a stand, my peace is lost, my balance is lost, my happiness is lost, then it's not going to help me. And if it's not going to help me, it's not going to help anybody else. And the other one is, if I am taking a stand and that is hurting somebody else, it's not being kind to somebody else, then again, that process is not a process that is suitable for everybody. The quick example of this would be the vaccine debate. There's a lot of information on both sides. And very often, even within a family, there's the lines drawn between those who want to vaccinate, those who don't want to vaccinate. As long as my taking a stand is not being unkind, I'm not hurting another person through that stand, then that's good. Whatever that stand is, doesn't matter. Similarly, my taking a stand does not mean this is the only way to go. So when I'm able to understand that, and if others are insisting that I need to follow their stand, how can I ask for my space? How can I ask for my boundaries without hurting others, without hurling anger or anything else at the other person? So that becomes my exercise in practicing this value of balance. Can I practice balance? Is a very crucial part of spiritual self-care. And the last 2 years have highlighted this need for balance in our life through the absence of balance, I think. So let's try and help each other and remind each other that I am contributing to world balance, world peace only through my own inner balance and inner peace. So that's all I had for this particular topic. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.